Hello. Long time no see. I probably look a little bit crazy because I went swimming. I did pole class. And yeah, I probably look a little bit crazy, but whatever. We're here. So, if this video finds you, okay, I would probably assume that you're probably a woman who either doesn't get approached often, or you're a woman who, if you do get approached, like if men do get to know you, like they try to say that you're intimidating, or they may ghost you or something of along those type of lines. As someone who is not deemed as like outwardly being intimidating, I definitely um I definitely get criticism back from people that I can be intimidating once they get to know me. So yeah. And I guess in this case, we're going to talk about men, but we will touch on like friends or maybe coworkers or even family members and stuff like that. Um, and thank you guys for asking how I'm doing. I'm good. Um, I've been going crazy at the pole studio. Like I've been going nuts because it's just been really healing for me to be dancing again. And today, like I had class, but there was like a workshop and like that was really healing and things like that. So I feel really good. It's just my body's tired because like literally I think this week in total I've spent 11 hours at the pole studio this week. I've been there as if it's a fucking part-time job. So I've been there a lot this week. Tomorrow I'm taking a rest and taking me an Epsom salt bath tonight. But anyway, we are going to get right into it. So I want to talk about several things when it comes to intimidation, and specifically like why men tend to say that you might be intimidating. I always look at it like this. I'm never going to hold myself responsible for being intimidating unless it were to only be in the context of someone, like a physical factor, like someone's safety was at risk, which for me would really never be the case. Like men can be intimidating because like they literally could unalive you. That's, in my opinion, the only form of intimidation that I really deem to be worthy. Anything else, I'm not taking responsibility for somebody else being intimidated by me, and you shouldn't either. There are a lot of women who will like get down on themselves and be like, men see me as intimidating, and I don't understand why I'm coming off as intimidating. You should be happy. If you come off as intimidating, that means that you're really good repellent for a man trying to play you. Okay. Because men know who to get over. Men are very strategic in what targets, okay, and what targets they want to choose. And a lot of the time when you come off as intimidating to a man, you're already signaling to him that you're a really bad target. So never ever ever like tone down your intimidation. Never. Okay. Anyone that actually is not afraid, anyone that actually has something to offer to you is never going to be intimidated by you. Like they're never going to let that be a factor, because that would be indicative of them feeling confident in themselves, and for them to understand who they are, for them to not feel intimidated by you. So please don't ever feel as though you have to turn your intimidation down. You don't. Okay, if you start shrinking yourself now before you even get with the person, you're gonna like erase yourself down to like an eraser head. You know, you have like the eraser at the bottom, and you use it so much and it's just completely, you're going to reduce yourself down to that much by the time it's all said and done if you start shrinking yourself now. And the more you shrink yourself, the more of a target you're going to be with to men. And then that's how a lot of men are going to take advantage of you, and that's how a lot of them are going to like play a lot of games and do a lot of things, for you, or do to you. And really, when it comes like for men, it's just an ego defense. Like I feel as though a lot of men like to say that a woman might be intimidating because it protects their ego, because they rather say that a woman is intimidating before they admit the fact to themselves that they're actually insecure. I don't think women I don't think women take a lot of account to believe that men are actually a lot more insecure than they let off. And they will show you this. They will show you this in subtle ways, like, you know, if you tell them what you do for work, if you invite them over and you have a nice place, or they see that you drive a nice car. Um, and and sometimes it may not even be like more than what he has. I mean, there are men that will have more than you and they'll still be intimidated by you, because it might just be your confidence, it might be your authenticity, it might be the fact that you're not a people pleaser. Men get insecure about that being displayed to them as well. Pretty much any way of you like putting a mirror up to a man's inadequacy, he's then going to pin it back on you as you being intimidating, right? Because it's always easier to label another person like crazy, or it's always easier to label another person than for that person to just confront their lack of self-worth, right? And then another thing too, you know, intimidation, in my opinion, when men say like, "Oh, you're intimidating," and yada yada yada, to me, it just means that I'm a threat to his masculinity, his masculine identity. Because for a lot of these men, their masculinity is just simply an identity, is like a mask, right? And so it's kind of built and constructed around this like self image that they're stronger than women, they're more capable, they're more dominant than us. And so when they see a woman that they don't fit that, like actually like she's stronger, she's more capable, she's more dominant, she earns more money, et cetera. Um, when you disrupt that belief, you challenge a man's identity. And this is why, like, honestly, when you're an intimidating woman, a lot of men won't want to really deal with you. And the thing about it is that the reason why a lot of men won't want to deal with you is because you're putting a mirror up to their behavior. And that's what you should always be. That's what you should always be wanting to give. You should always want to be given, I'm going to put a mirror up to you. Most men want to deal with a woman that isn't going to challenge him in any way, that is not going to put a mirror up to his inadequacies. And as someone who has been called intimidating, that's the reason why a lot of men will perceive me as intimidating, because I highlight their flaws. And a lot of people don't want their, flaws highlighted because it gives them a self-perception of them being inferior, them, it's completely collapsing whatever delusion it is that they're feeding themselves, right? Um, you said they say you're nagging, like, sir, no, you just not doing enough. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing too. They tend to be intimidated by like really like small things. In my opinion, they'll be intimidated by really small things. Like, I had a guy be intimidated because my place was nice. You know what I mean? And to me, that's a very small thing, because it's like, well, nothing is stopping you from getting a nice place, right? What's stopping you from getting a nice place of your own? So, why do I still attract dusties even when I'm dressed TF up? It could be your energy. It could be your energy. You have to have the energy to match along with how you're dressing. That's like really important. If you don't have the energy to match, like, the thing about it is that like men are really good at picking up on energy more than anything. If they see that you're someone that they feel as though, you know, the energy, they feel as though that they can come in and they can try to talk to you, then they're going to try to talk to you. Like, like for instance, like whenever I'm dressed up, I always, this is just Palo Santo. Um, trying to bring some positivity into the home, especially when I talk about stuff like this. So anyway, yeah, essentially, like whenever I dress really nice, my shoulders are always back, like my head, my chin is always up, and like it's tunnel vision. Like, I don't make any eye contact with anybody. I don't, I act like I own the place. And most of the time, they don't talk to me. Um, Dusties will try to talk to me if they get like a small out. Like, I told it before in a live stream, but I was walking past the store I was walking past the store, and as I was walking, I was kind of window shopping, and then something caught my eye, and so I was kind of slowing down, and then the guy was like, "Oh, are you looking for something?" And like I ignored him, like I just made a beeline right back to the store because I saw something that I liked. I went inside the store, and he left me alone. So I mean, it's not going to stop men completely, you know what I mean? But I feel as though I get it less when I just am like, you know. Exactly. That's why. It's because they hear you being friendly. So they'll just try to take an opportunity because they're like, oh, well, she's talking to somebody else. This would be a perfect time for me to try to talk to her. See, like, that's kind of, if they see an opportunity, they're just going to go on ahead and they're going to take it a lot of the time. Um, yeah. And then another thing, too, for a lot of men, when it comes to them being intimidated by women, like, a woman that they're intimidated by reminds them that they don't have any power. And that's kind of that's kind of most people's MO, humans in general, okay, man or woman, because I want to make this very clear. Like, I don't really want to keep it just at men. I mean, if you guys want, I can make like a special live stream talking about intimidation, like in the workplace, because I feel like outside of like heterosexual relationships, you being an intimidating person to the people that you work with is like a whole nother league of its own as well. Like, it can actually be very detrimental to your career and to your growth. If that is something that you all want me to talk about in the future, I have no problem talking about it because it's also something that I've also had to struggle with, and like the women in my family. But essentially, humans are kind of wired to avoid situations where they feel powerless, and so when you're a woman that tends to be intimidating to men, you're reminding that man that he's powerless, right? When you hold your own, you don't bend for male validation. A lot of men feel as though unconsciously that they have a loss of control. And so that's a hit to their ego, and for them that's kind of dangerous to their self-esteem and like their self-value and self-worth. So that's another reason why they will want to call like a woman intimidating, because you're making him feel powerless, you're making him feel as though he doesn't have any control over you, which is exactly how you want him to feel, right? You're not a freaking child. You shouldn't, no one should ever have to feel as though they have control over you, right? You're an adult, right? You have your own things going for yourself. No one should ever come into your life, thinking about that. Can we speak on selfies? Guy I was talking to started asking for selfies daily. He would send me his selfies without me asking. And moment I said, no, I can't be taking daily selfies, he said, talk to you later. Girl, he wanted you to validate him. He did. He wanted you to validate him. He knows that he can't post selfies on Instagram and get a ton of likes, so he figured he would make you his personal Instagram. Thank you for the super chat, Alex. He tried to make you his personal Instagram. I can't stand it when men do that. Don't send no unsolicited pictures of anything, okay? I don't want to I'm not about to validate you. He was looking for validation. That's all that was. But he knew it would sound weird if he just started sending selfies and didn't ask you to send any. So he had to say, like, oh, send some back. That way he can make it sound less creepy and less like he was trying to beg for your validation. Child, yeah, no, like, what's up with these men want to be women so bad? So bad, okay? Like, these men, they want to be the new bad bitches. I drive an Audi truck. My sugar daddy bought it for me, and Dusty still try me even after seeing me walk out of it. Chow. And see, if you got an Audi, you got to drive it to only nice places. You can't go to the hood not one time. You got to only go to nice places. It might be a Dusty in like a Target or something, but that is a thing. That is a thing. Um, because these men are hobosexuals too, right? They want to mooch off of somebody. So they'll be like, ooh, she's got an Audi. Maybe she's got money. Maybe she's desperate. Maybe she'll give me some. Like, no, sir. Oh, well, that's why. It's because they at the gas station, girl. Right? It's because they at the gas stations. The Dusties live at the gas station, child. At any gas station, just about. That's the reason why when I pump my gas, child, I don't even go inside the gas station. I literally freaking get purchase the gas, put the freaking pump in the tank, go back in my car, lock the doors, roll up the windows, and pump my gas. You're not getting a single opportunity to talk to me. No, sir. Mm-mm. I'm not giving you not a single opportunity to talk to me. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Oh my gosh. No one degraded anybody. Nobody degraded anybody, but that's kind of weird to want to go. That's kind of weird to want to ask someone to want to constantly send selfies. It's like, dude, like just post on Instagram, like post your selfies on the internet. Like what? Like what? And I feel as though if you were to start taking selfies, he would probably want to start upping the ante on other pictures that he would want. He would want selfies and he would want nudes and he would want like men are always going to push the boundary. So I highly doubt it was going to start at selfie. I highly doubt it was going to start and end at selfies, right? Um it's really that simple. And yeah, any man that's going to be insecure of a woman, it really does just highlight like he doesn't have anything going for himself. There's nothing that you're doing wrong by being intimidating to a man. He's literally just insecure. He's doing you a favor by not wanting to deal with you because you're intimidating. Okay? Like please don't ever reduce the amount of intimidation that you are like expressing from yourself. As a woman, you should be like bold, you should be proud, you should be confident in yourself. You should have everything going for yourself. You know what I mean? Any man that wants you to have nothing, he don't have nothing. He has no good intentions for you. Men that don't want you to have nothing, men that want you to have a low self-esteem have no good intentions for you. They don't. And another thing too is that socially, you being a woman that is intimidating further proves to a man that you cannot be controlled, right? Because men still expect women to be very accommodating, very soft spoken, very agreeable. And so, when you speak with a lot of authority, you hold your ground. They look at it as disobedience. Like I find this often, like even with my own dad, like if I have a strong opinion about something in like regards to him, like he will take it as disobedience. Like he will think that like I'm disobeying him. And it's like I can't be disobeying you when you're not, first of all, you're not giving me anything to obey, first of all. And then also number two, um, I'm not gonna bend to your will just so that way you could feel like more manly. That's not my job to make you feel more like a man. You need to do what's necessary so that you feel like a man. Um, I don't I don't want any man in competition with me where I have to fuel his drive for him to feel more manly. At that point, that just kind of signals to me that you don't have the foundation. You don't have the foundation that you need to be rooted in being a man. That's all. That's what all that tells me. You're too insecure. No, thank you. That's why my ass is single now. She said I'm starting to hate my boyfriend because I feel like he's doing all of this to me. Girl, I would hate him too. I would hate him too. How can you even respect a person like that? How can you even respect a person that can't even handle you when you're at your best and they want you to shrink down to a reduced version of yourself just so that they could feel better? No woman is going to respect that. That's not a respectable trait. You you would be looking at you normally you want to look at a man with disgust when they act like that. That's disgusting behavior. Why would you want me to shrink myself so that way you could feel better? Like, no, like I'm not like just thinking about that makes me laugh, honestly. Just thinking about it cracks me up because mm-mm, uh-uh. Like I can't do it. Yeah, and that's the thing too. He might be older than you. He might be older than you, but he's probably pissed off. He probably is pissed off because he is older than you. He's trying to humble you. He's trying to humble you because hey, after you, he gonna have to be looking for a nurse and a purse probably, depending on how old he is. Like I don't do any of that. I can't tolerate any of that because usually it just always gets worse. Usually their behavior tends to always want to escalate once they start signaling off that they're insecure and they find you to be intimidating. I'm always going to say nip it at the bud, suck them dry, get what you can get out of them, and then have somebody already lined up and ready, and then drop this guy. I wear Chanel and I'm a showgirl. And he told me I have to wait because his mom and sister still wear Michael Kors. And I would be like, what the fuck does that have to do with me? Okay, what is that has nothing to do with me. I don't give a crap about what your mama and your sister are wearing. What are we talking about? Like what? Chow. That's insane. That's insane. Chow. Mm-mm. It's like, okay, why can't you come up with enough money to make sure that they have Chanel too? Why do I have to wait because they don't have it? What's going on? Like I don't understand what's going on. Ugh, I'm telling you. Oh, another thing too. Okay, so another reason with like the whole intimidation thing, another reason why like men don't really want to deal with women that they perceive to be as intimidating is because they're going to lose more peer validation from men. Now, it depends on the man's friend group. Okay, it depends on the man's friend group because there are actual men out there who they will be with a woman that they're intimidated by, but they understand that they can actually use that. They can use her value to show off to his friends. But then there are some men that will avoid that because they don't want his homeboys playing. I'm like, oh, she makes more money than you, so she's wearing the pants, or she's taller than you, or she has more muscle than you. Because men care a lot about what other men think. So that's also another reason why that's also another like thing when it comes to their insecurity. Their insecurity also is coming from how other people are perceiving them when it comes to dealing with a woman that would be perceived as being intimidating. This is why for me personally, one of the biggest turnoffs in my experience with men is them caring too much about what other people think. I haven't had that much of an issue getting men that like had money, that were financially stable, that were educated. That's never really been an issue with me. The biggest thing that I've had an issue with men is that they are not self validated. They care a lot about what other people think, and they will make decisions based off of what other people think. And as someone who does not do that, as someone who is self validated and only makes decisions based off of what my beliefs are, that is a turn off because I mean, how old are we? How old are we? Why are we grown adults looking left and right to look for someone to validate our decisions? You know what I mean? For me, it just gives weak. For me, it gives to me it's just not masculine. It's not masculine. I don't want to deal with somebody. I don't want to deal with somebody that has to look around for validation because the thing about it is that all it's going to take is one person's opinion for them to completely turn on you. You know what I mean? And that's all it'll take. And it's like, okay, well, I guess like you must be sleeping with your homeboy. I guess your homeboy is going to be the one cooking and cleaning for you. I guess your homeboy is going to be the one wiping your ass when you're sick. Because what do you have to gain? What do you have to gain from even entertaining, another person based off of the validation? Like it just doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like it's annoying, honestly. Yes, like they will literally ask their homeboy if they should mess with a girl before they make the decisions themselves, just losers. Yeah, like I had a guy not want to deal with me anymore because he asked someone about me, and like the guy, I don't know what the guy told him, but I guess he didn't like what the guy said about me. And I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." And my thing about it is this: if the shoe were on the other foot, would I take it into account? I mean, yeah, sure, I would take it into account. But what beats me is that these will be the same men who will get mad that that same guy will then be sleeping with that woman that they told them not to date or told them to break up with. And it's like, you do understand that sometimes like they'll just give you this bad advice just to like lead you blindly so that way they could take an opportunity to deal with said person because that's happened too. Honestly, like honestly, why are you listening? Why do you care so much about what they have to say? I mean, so for me, that's never gonna fly. That's You could have all the money in the world, you could be spoiling me as much as you want, but as soon as you start caring and you start listening to what other people are telling you, nope. My thing is it's like you can listen to what people gotta tell you, but to just like go and like make these like one-off decisions is crazy to me. Just all because you care about the approval of another person. Like, no, it's just never gonna make sense to me. I'm convinced my pops would sabotage my mother's car so she would need him to fix it. I would never do something like that, but I just gotta be honest. It happens. Unfortunately, you're not crazy. Ciao. That's the thing too. Men already know that if everything is available for a woman to have, in most cases, a woman's not going to go out of her way to reach out to a man. I mean, unless she has a really low self-esteem. But aside from that, men know inherently that when a woman has everything that she needs, the thing that she wants, a lot of the time it's just not going to be a man. And so this is the reason why they have to like force all of these things politically. They have to force all these things with women's rights because it's the only way. It's the only way to give men a winning chance for them to have a woman. And so yeah, that's kind of like an act of sabotage what they do politically too. I've never heard a man say, just give her a chance. She might be your future wife. Ain't that the truth? You're right about that. I've never heard that before. Mm-mm. Never heard that before. And then another thing too, like with intimidation, like I'm someone who is like fairly direct and assertive, and like especially being a black woman, that already gets labeled as like aggression. Um, whereas like men, they could show the very same characteristics and like they're seen as being, leaders, authoritative, like, they will have the same qualities, and that's like a great thing to have, you know what I mean? So another thing too is that like I feel like some women kind of they're fearful of being seen as intimidating because intimidating is just like one step beneath being called aggressive. Um and that's the thing too with me, I don't harp on semantics anymore. I used to, but I don't harp on semantics anymore. Because you know what? I understand that people will say a word, but how they're thinking of the word is completely different. Like Me setting a boundary would be assertive, but they're calling it aggressive. But let's be honest, like aggression is someone like being disrespectful. Like I would say that aggression and disrespectful are more so synonyms. Assertiveness is not disrespecting. When you're aggressive, I can guarantee 99% of the time you're being disrespectful. There is nothing disrespectful about setting a boundary, saying what you're okay, what you're not okay with, saying what the needs that you want to be met. So this is why, like, if someone calls me aggressive, it's like, you can call me aggressive, but I'm not being disrespectful. Like, so there's no way that you can call me aggressive. There's no way that that makes sense. You can't, it's just simply, you're not letting me get what I want. You're not letting me have my way with you. And so I'm going to call you aggressive. Okay, then call me aggressive then. I'll just be that. I'll just go on ahead and I'll just be aggressive then, if that's what you want to call it. And another thing too, men typically, that like I said before, like they want to stay in control and they really do want to keep that power structure. So patriarchy thrives so much on women having to shrink themselves to be accepted. So intimidating is kind of like a scare. That's like a buzzword for a lot of women. Like, oh my God, he called me intimidating. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like a lot of women, pick me women at least, will start like freaking out, and they're trying to figure out what they can do to like change the perception that a man has of them. And so, like, okay, let me not speak up. Let me not state my opinion. Let me not say how I really feel. And it's like, all right, girl, you're going to tone it down so much that you're going to get walked all over, because doing that, that's really not going to be in your favor. And once again, don't make it your responsibility to coddle someone's insecurity. You can't. She said, no, no, you can be aggressive without being disrespectful. I just did it the other day. I mean, okay, yeah. This is what I think. I think that how people think of aggression, in my opinion, the way that they will label aggression with women, it's not aggression. This is the reason why I say, like, but I'm not being disrespectful. Usually, how people are going to use the word aggression outside of women is because there's a level of disrespect there. Because, like I said before, people take disrespect as them not getting their way with you. You may not actually be doing anything disrespectful, but a lot of men will perceive disrespect as you not doing what they're saying, right? You're not doing what they're saying. I'm not being disrespectful because I'm not doing what you're saying. I'm not. I'm not being disrespectful. So you can't sit here and say that I'm being aggressive, because that's not a form of disrespect. I don't have to do what you're telling me to do, because who are you? I'm an adult. I'm an adult. She said, I don't want to date anyone, not even white men anymore. I'm happy working two jobs to kill time and having a sugar daddy. Listen, I feel that. She said not even white men. Yeah, it's like I don't have time for that. Like I don't have time for someone trying to call me a bad person all because I had an opinion. If you're upset over somebody having an opinion, you have much larger issues in life. All right? You something is wrong with you. Dating is the last thing that you should be thinking about. A relationship is the last thing that should be on your mind. If someone having an opinion is enough to trigger you, for you to be that fucking upset. Like, I promise you, it's really not that serious. Yeah, like, yeah, and I've been there. I did it all too. I did too. I've been pick me. Um, I've never really did like to say it. I never did that. But I've had mostly sugar baby with a sprinkle of pick me. I'm good. I'm good. It's just me. It's just me, myself, and I. My job, me creating content, my pole dancing classes, my books. That's just about it. Outside of that, I there's nothing else that I really care to do that involves men at all. Like I don't really care about dating them or talking to them. Um I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, but yeah, it all wears off at a certain time. Like eventually you're going to dread talking to your sugar daddy at some point. It's not going to be as fun anymore. The boyfriend situation gets boring after a while. It's like, yeah. She said, "No silly questions, please. This channel is for emotionally intelligent, self aware women." I know that's right. If you're neither of those things, please be quiet and listen to Queen. This is not this is not a dusty advice. This is not a dusty advice page. True, you have to be somewhat ascending over here to some degree to kind of understand. Also, on the other channel, the spiritual channel, once I'm done here, I'm gonna go directly over to the spiritual channel and we're gonna talk about like narcissism and kind of like the spiritual warfare that takes place when you are dealing with a narcissist and how that impacts you and kind of how you can overcome that because I'm really a firm believer that dealing with a narcissist, being with a narcissist, it's bigger than the person in front of you. It definitely is a spiritual thing, in my opinion. And I definitely believe that it is a spiritual test for you if you are dealing with a narcissist. I limited it to men, but this could be anything. Like this could be anybody. This could be someone in your family that's a narcissist. For a lot of people, this is like where we met our first narcissist. It's usually a parent. So after I'm done here, I'm going to talk about that on the spiritual channel. It's Queen the Mystic. So if you're not following me there, you can go on ahead and follow me there. And you know what? Honestly, I haven't been wearing any makeup when I go out. I don't have the fucking time. I don't have the freaking time. And I still come off intimidating. I still come off intimidating. Hey, I still do because, like, I walk with a lot of intention of where I'm going to go. My shoulders are back. My chin is up. Like, I'm on a mission. Like, I'm on a mission to go where it is that I'm trying to go. People, men specifically, they have a hard time if they see that you're directly more on where you're going, at least in my opinion, in my lived experience, they tend to not want to approach you when they see that you're on a mission to get to where you want to get. Like some men will be like, wow, you're walking so fast, or where are you in a rush to go? No, shut the fuck up. You're trying to get me to slow down because you want to have an opportunity to talk to me. Like, and I'm not going to give you the opportunity to talk to me. So just shut up. Like, I'm going where I'm going. But yeah, if men see you as intimidating, you're doing something right. That means you're a bad target to be manipulated. Always remember that. Intimidating means you're a bad target. And for men, you want to be a bad target. You don't want to be a good target for a man. You want to be a bad target. You don't want somebody to look at you and say, "Oh, she looks like she's easy to manipulate. Oh, she looks like she's easy to control." Like, you don't want someone to look at you like that. The T app hurt my feelings. The T app really hurt my feelings because I was like, why are y'all dealing with dust? The men on the T app, I was like, it can be hard to feel bad for some women when I'm like, this is who y'all chose. This is who you're dealing with. You could look at how these men look and you could already foresee the future just based off of how they look. Like, none of those men that I see, and I deleted the app. I did. I ended up deleting the app. I literally, nobody that I dated was on there. I kept it on my phone for maybe 48 hours. I took it off. I was like, Okay, this is all obvious as to why these men are on the app. Who cares? Like, y'all are dumb for dating these men. What's going on? Can you talk more about sex demons who steal your energy? Yeah, I could talk about it. Yeah, and I kind of feel it, honestly. I do. I kind of feel it. Got married to my ex young. It was an arranged marriage, nice guy type. I used to give him pedicures and stuff, and he humbled me and called me arrogant. Oh my God, why was you giving pedicures? Why were you doing nice things for this man? Like what? That's the first thing. That's the first thing we got to talk about. Y'all, don't do this nice stuff for these men. Don't ever give them pedicures. Don't ever like do them little face masks with them. Don't do anything nice for them. For Christmas, buy them a pair of socks and tell them Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, and go on with your life. Okay? Essentially anyone that's because guess what? Even when you don't do the nice stuff, they're still going to try to humble you. That's why I don't do anything nice for them because they're still going to try to humble you. Because, a lot, like I said before, men subconsciously, a lot of the time, they know that you're better than them. Okay. They know that you're better than them. So they are literally going to try to humble you either way, no matter what you do. If you do everything for them, if you don't do anything for them, they're still going to try to humble you. So if the outcome is going to be the same of them humbling you, you might as well do nothing. No, the men don't like it. They just use it. They just use it for their benefit, but they don't like it. And I'm grateful. One thing I can say with the men that I have dealt with, thank God most of the time they were honest. Because when I would try to do nice stuff, the men would just straight up tell me, I don't want you doing any of that stuff for me. They will literally tell me, they would say, don't do anything nice for me unless I specifically ask. Like one of my exes, he was like, don't buy me anything unless it's the specific thing that I'm asking for you to buy. He's like, I don't want you to buy me anything. I don't want you to do anything for me. Because at least in my experience, men that I've dealt with, that emasculates them. It doesn't make them feel like a man. They don't want a woman to do stuff for them because it doesn't make them feel manly. So when I had one man tell me that, I was like, all right, well, then I'm never doing this shit. If you want to do something nice, do it for a child, do it for an animal, right? You can get you a dog, you can clip the dog's toenails, you can paint the dog's toenails, you can lather them up and do all that spa day stuff with an animal or a child. You can give your daughter pedicures and paint her toenails, but no, a man, mm-mm. Mm-mm. She said, yes, I used to be the kind of person that looked down on women for wearing bonnets and pajamas in public. And now I'm cosplaying as the same woman so I can avoid unwanted, dusty attention. I'm hollering. Me personally, I won't go that far. I mean, pretty much like I'm not going to go out in a robe, but it's like I'll go out in this. And like lately, I've been going out in workout apparel, but it's too hot to put on makeup. Okay, here in Florida, too hot to put on makeup. Um, and it's too hot to be, you know, to be doing all this stuff. Like for me to be putting that shit on. I don't feel like doing it. So guess what? I'm not doing it. And thankfully the men aren't paying any attention to me. So I hope that continues. As long as they leave me alone, as long as they don't bother me, that's fine. It was, oh my God, it was so funny. So, when was it? It was the beginning of the week. It was the beginning of the week. I went to a pole dance class. The way the studio is, it's You walk in, it's a studio, it's a door, then it's another studio. There's a bathroom in between the door separating the two studios. Go to the bathroom after no. Yeah, I went to the bathroom, we finished class. I come out the bathroom, it's a man, okay? It's a man, and it's not a gay man. Like, at pole dancing classes, I'm used to it being a gay man in there. That's normal, right? Um, no, this was a cis het man. He's like, "Is this class next door like the level 1, 2, like, is it like the pole dance class or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah." So then I go back over to, like, the girls in my class, and she's like, one of the girls is like, "Why is there a cis het man in here?" She was like, "Why is there a cis het man in here?" And he was back today. He had on his cologne, and I'm like, Lord. I mean, he's minding his business, and he's not in any of my classes. I mean, he is minding his business, but I'm like, oh my God. Oh my gosh. Like, really? Like I said, the gay men, I'm used to that, but like, yeah. I was at a loss for words. I was at a loss for words. I was like, okay, whatever. Whatever, I guess. Hot in California. Oh, hot in California, and it's getting up to 100 degrees in my city. Exactly. Nobody has time. She said I was young and dumb, not so nice now, and he's nicer to me with my fake bitch attitude. I'm really a nice girl, but I'm just careful with it now. I'm telling you, men really like it when you're not nice to them, because I for them, they perceive niceness as weakness, because men generally are not nice. Like, if you hang around a bunch of men, men are not nice to each other. Men perceive niceness as a state of weakness. They deem it as you being vulnerable. So when you're nice to them, they just see somebody as a doormat. They like it when you're kind of mean with them, and when you are unpredictable. They respect you more. They do. They respect you more. They're honestly, men are masochists. They're sadistic. They're sadistic and they're masochists. Like, honestly, she said might be a trade. You know what? He very well could. Because honestly, he was around a ton of women and he wasn't looking at any of the women. These and the women are like half naked. Like, I know how it looks when men are like trying to sneak a peek. Like, there's mirrors everywhere. So what a lot of men will do, they'll look at the mirror and then they'll try to get a view from the mirror. He wasn't paying any attention to any of these women. So I feel like I believe more than anything that he probably is a trade, or that he's probably DL, because yeah, when you're at a pole dancing studio, like, oh yeah, it's kind of hard to be in that environment, and for you to like not even for you to not even just have any response. You know what I mean? Like, the girls are legit naked. She said, I like being nice. So when people expect me to be mean to them, it's such a turn off. Ew. And then this is the thing too. Like, okay, so I don't like, so are men like wanting you to be like just straight up like sinister mean? They'll let you, because I've done it before. They'll let you. Um, I think I think men more so, it's not even like that they want someone necessarily mean. They want someone that will put up more resistance. They want someone that'll put up more resistance. And I hate saying that because it kind of facilitates grape culture, but essentially, that's what men want. It's super sinister. That's why I said, like, they're very sadistic. This is why a lot of men like grape culture, because they actually like it more when women put up a resistance against them, because it is an obstacle that they want to overcome. They perceive it as an obstacle, as opposed to just being nice. They just don't feel like they could like take anything or like conquer anything. So, yeah, do with that what you will. And if you do take that advice, just weaponize it in the best way that you can. Like for instance, like I tend not to be very over the moon over like compliments or whatever for men. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, you've probably said that to like three women today already. You're like, what am I supposed to do? Like do a backflip? Like I'll say stuff like that when a man gives me a compliment just to humble him, because that's the thing too, just to humble him so that he can realize like your compliments aren't worth anything, sir. Like I'm gonna humble you. I'm gonna humble you. So that way you can realize that these words coming out of your mouth, like they're just words, like they're not benefiting me in any way. Oh my gosh, rose water, sweet tea, literally my exact thoughts. My exact thoughts. One of the girls that I go to pole dancing with, we kind of were talking about this. I had to go to the mall last week and she talked to me. She came with me. She's like, I really ever come to the mall. Like she's like, I don't like, and I'm like, yeah, because when you go to the mall, especially on the weekend, nothing but families there. Nothing but families there. You got the husband, the wife pushing the stroller, and the other kid tagging behind. And here I am, handful of shopping bags with my espadrille heels on, my coochie cutter shorts, and some like low cut top that's like showing my cleavage. And then I minded my own business, and it's some man looking at me, it's some husband looking at me, and I'm just like, and I'm looking around and I'm like, dude, y'all life looks like it sucks. I would probably be looking at me too if I had the life you had. That shit looks lame. That shit looks miserable. Like going to the mall as a family and it's like a ton of people there and it's a ton of kids and it's like, oh, it's like every time I go to the mall, I see more and more families and more kids. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm just going to order everything offline because no, this is terrible. And I can also tell that like more and more when I go out, like, is it just me or are you all noticing that like people are going in couples everywhere? Everywhere. Like I remember a time where I would go to the grocery store. So like the grocery store, okay, I will see more people go, but like when I go to a place like Costco, at Costco, people always go in couples. What is up with people going to Costco in couples? I don't understand it. I don't ever remember that being a thing. But it's like the bigger the place is, they're going to go as like a couple and it's going to be like a heterosexual couple. That's usually what I'm seeing lately. And I just start scratching my head and I'm like, okay, I guess. But yeah, it's too much for me. It's too much. I also avoid restaurants. I only go to bars because no kids. Ugh, they need to start making no kids. You know how they have like the no kids resorts? They need to start making no kids establishments, especially the mall. I like going shopping. He may be curious about certain things about himself. Good for him for exploring and being respectful. Yeah, we're going to say so good so far. We'll see. I never like to hold my breath. I told this dude I was difficult, then immediately made a demand. I told him no, and he told me he liked nice women. I said, okay, I already told you what I was on, and he still won't leave me alone. Exactly. It's like you will tell them that you're a horrible person. You'll tell them how evil you are, and then they just like, oh, well, I'm used to that. I literally made up a lie. I lied and told a guy that was trying to talk to me. I was like, I'm crazy. I shot one of my exes in the foot. I literally lied and I told him that. He's like, oh, I could handle that. That's fine. Excuse me, sir? I told you that I literally shot somebody in the foot and that wasn't enough to repel you? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No. I'm not dealing with a man who doesn't know how to walk away from someone that's literally telling them that the last person that they were with, they literally did they literally did that. Or when I get my nails done, ugh. when I get my nails done, I'll see when I get my nails done and the man is there with the girl. And I'm like, what's the point of you even being here? Like, she's paying for her own nails. Like, I see you doing that little swoop around behind the back to try to like hold her. Because that's what they're really doing. Whenever they're checking out at the register and it's a man and a woman and the man goes behind the woman, he's not doing it because he's trying to caress her. He's doing it so that all the people behind him, he covering up the fact she paying. Honestly, I'm like, you're just trying to cover up the fact that this woman is paying for everything. I'm not, come on, you can't play me. You can't play me over here. I know you're not trying to caress and get close to your girl while she's fucking paying for something. You're just trying to hide your dustiness. Should I tell my sugar daddy to retire me from dancing? He pays all bills and travel, but nothing extra. Food, shopping, debt. I have to take care of on my own. I need to learn how to invest. I say no. I made that mistake once. I highly recommend. I highly not recommend. I do not recommend at all. I do not. Yeah. Just keep dancing, have your sugar daddy pay for all your bills, and you just, while he's doing this, you need to use that money to do something. I was using it for school, but you got to do something to have that money make you money or to get you out of the club if you want to leave. Damn, y'all's luck. When I wanted to date the guys I like would deter from me. For it's always like that. I told the guy that I have a demon that comes out whenever I try to be intimate, and he said, "That's okay. I'll punch the demon." See, they don't see anything as an obstacle. Like, they see things as an obstacle, but they see it as something that they can overcome. Like, they look at it as like, oh, that's nothing. Like, that'll be fine. It's because their ego is so big that they don't even men don't even foresee danger when it's in relation to a woman. That's how trusting they are of us, which is the reason why they're very easy to exploit. They're very easy to exploit because they're so trusting of women. Women who bring men into women's spaces like salons are the worst. Just have him drop you off and pick you up if you're that codependent. Oh, it drives me crazy. Even in healthcare, it drives me crazy. Like, it'll be a transvaginal ultrasound. Like, the probe, the camera's going to go inside her hoo ha. Can he come back? Can he come back with me? Why do you need him back here for this? Why do you need him back here for this exam? Why? There is no support. There's no support that he can give you during this exam. Why? What is the best present for a guy? Girl, no present. No present. I don't get these men. I don't really be getting these men shit. Like I said before, it only took one man for him to tell me, don't get me anything. And I never got a man anything after that. And they've never complained about it. They've never said, well, why don't you get me anything? If a man is boo hooing about why you're not getting him something, you're probably not even with a man. Okay. Most men that care about their masculinity, they're not going to be boo-hooing over if you getting them a present or not. They're not going to give a fuck. I promise you. I just hate dancing. I'm constantly depressed as my black dancer. Oh, okay. As the only black dancer in all three of my clubs. On a Friday night, I'll make 250. Like, it's convenient, but not worth it. I was dancing in Tampa and did okay. Maybe I'll go back while he pays my bill. Girl, go to Tampa. Go to Tampa, please. Cause yeah, that can be really hard too, depending on where you're working at when, it's you're the only type of your demographic. Um, and the men that are there, they only want to deal with another type of demographic, especially if they only like white women. That makes it harder. But that's what I would do. And I don't know where you're dancing at, but I would make him book me a flight. Hey, I need to get this money. I need to get this money. So you need to fly me out to Tampa or fly me out to whatever place, whatever place it is that you feel like you would do better at to work. But Yeah, definitely don't stop dancing. Don't rely on your sugar daddy. Please don't rely on it. As soon as you do that, child, that's when it's gonna get real. That's when they get cheap. But listen, I tell you one thing. If I could be honest, girl, most of us are depressed at work. Oh yeah, girl, it's because you're in Texas. You're in Texas. What are you like a slim thick black girl or like a slim black girl? If you're a slim black girl dancing, you need to be dancing at white clubs. You need to be dancing at gentlemen's clubs that have a large demographic of white people. You'll do better there. But I really only foresee Texas liking Latinas, yeah, with BBLs, but I feel as though I don't know, I feel as though I did pretty well because I was at a club that the club was pretty diverse. We had a nice little mixture of, black girls there, but that'll make it difficult. I feel like in Texas. She said that kind of guy is DL. I didn't get a gift. You didn't give me a gift. It's like, oh my God. I didn't know I was dealing with a woman. I didn't know I was dealing with a woman. Like, I would expect for a woman to say that. That's fair. But a man caring about a gift? Oh, child, no. Mm-mm. And shouldn't no man even want you to give him like an expensive gift either? That's like another thing too. A lot of the time men don't even want you to get them an expensive gift because they think of it as like, okay, if you spend a lot of money on me, that means that they would have to spend a lot of money on you. And a lot of the time, like they don't want to be doing all that. They don't want to be doing all that, spending all that money. So they're like, no, like you don't have to give me anything. No, at least not here, I don't know. I'm not inland enough. I'm not inland enough to see any alligators. Exactly why I'm slit duck hollering right now. I remember those days of being depressed at the strip club. I'm like, ugh. And I guess a lot of women are saying that the club is just not popping. They're saying that it's a recession indicator because these men are not spending money. That these men are not spending a whole lot of money and that they're not coming to the club as often. But I remember those days. I do. I remember those days. I told y'all that I got to the point where I hated dancing so much. I took a job at Panera and I didn't even get a good job at Panera Bread. They had me cleaning the bathrooms and shit. They had me cleaning the bathrooms and shit. And I was like, oh no. I was like, chow. I said, I really hate the club if I'm over here working at Panera Bread, refilling the coffee, refilling the goddamn tea and lemonade, bussing all the tables, fucking cleaning up the bathrooms. Like, what the fuck? What kind of employee discount did you get at Panera? Girl, I don't know, but I quit that goddamn place. I don't even think I formally quit either. I think I just kept doing no call, no shows. I think I just was doing no call, no shows. I didn't even give that damn place the decency to even fucking quit formally. There's a Twin Peaks across the highway from my club. The parking lot there stays packed every way, and they probably barely even tip into that. Okay, so I think I probably quit the club multiple times. So I quit the club because I was depressed. And that's how I ended up having my sugar daddy take care of me. Once I was annoyed of my sugar daddy and he was getting cheap and making all these excuses, that was when I decided to go on ahead and work at Panera Bread. But I wanted out of the club regardless. I wanted out of the club regardless. So then my sugar daddy was like, "Oh, well, that's fine. Like, I'll take care of everything. Like, you don't have to worry about everything." And he was annoying. And I was like, "Forget it. I'm just going to work at Panera at this point." But my main intention was I wanted out of the club. I was tired of that place. I was beyond. She said, "I'm hiding in the bathroom right now to avoid stage." Oh my God. I feel you, girl. I feel you, girl. You know you gotta hate. You know you have to hate the club if you like me. You know you gotta hate the club if you started working at fucking Panera Bread. You know you gotta hate the club if you took a fucking minimum wage job at Panera Bread. Like, go ahead either way. Yeah, I was tired of that damn place. I was so tired of that place, it was driving me nuts. A guy that was trying to date me literally said that we both gonna be pretty princesses dating each other because he's an only child. Ugh. These men need to be with another man. Like, you can't, like, that doesn't work. Like, you can't be with a woman and then wanna be a princess when you're with a woman. Like, no. Ugh. What job would I make stripper money? Maybe bartending. I am going back to Tampa, pushing through 6 more months and quitting. Girl, yeah, you could do bartending or bottle girl. Yeah, bartending or bottle girl, you'll be able to make money in only 6 more months, girl. But yeah, come on, to Tampa, child, because I'm not too far away from Tampa. But yeah, definitely come on back. And there's so many clubs to work at in the Tampa area. It's a shit ton of clubs in the Tampa area to work at. Would you say the majority of girls at the club are looking for a way out? No. Honestly, I would say most of the girls that are at the club, like, it's just their day to day. And it's like, I think girls wake up one day and they're like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And they just quit doing it for whatever reason. But most of the girls that are there, like, I think they hate it. Like, I think that they don't really like being there, but they don't actually like sit down and like formulate a plan to like get out and really think about it. Cause like, I was in college while I danced, so I had something to stay focused on and fixated on for me to like be motivated to be like, I'm not staying here. I'm not doing this no more. The men at my corporate job are horrible and get jealous of your progress. They exclude the women or ignore your emails to get to you. I just outdo them and act innocent and watch them lose chow. I remember like the boss. So when I worked in roofing sales, that was the first and last male dominated field that I ever will do. So we had like had someone that was like training like come in or not. So like mind you, like I'm starting when we're getting training. So like I'm really not like this is a whole new world for me. I come from medical background. So selling roofs and getting on top of roofs, yeah, no experience with that. I've never like knocked on a door and sold something before. Okay. So the only time I knocked on a door was for me to for trick or treat for Halloween. All right, that's all the experience I had was knocking on a door for candy. So I remember like they must have assumed that like because I was a woman and because I was pretty that I was going to be like making all this money my first day. And so I remember the manager my first day I didn't get a sale. I didn't get a sale at all. And so my first day he was like, "Wow, I'm shocked that you didn't do 10, that you didn't I forgot the actual, "Oh, I'm shocked you didn't get 10 signatures today." And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, are you serious?" So then the next day, like, I just got multiple, and then, like, I just kept on reeling them in at that point. I was like, "I'm gonna show you," but I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." There's no money yet for me. It's all Mexicans here and regulars. Yup. You know your demographic. When you know your demographic ain't in there, you just be like, it's gonna be a slow night, I guess, unless somebody comes in that likes me. And the thing about it is that, like, the thing about it that sucked the most was that, like, the amount of sexual harassment that I had to endure while they were training me. Because it's like, this is what will be frustrating. So then, like, okay, they would like make little jokes or whatever, and then like the lead guy would be like, "Hey, like, let's not joke like that or whatever." And then someone else would be like, "Oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's really, like, it's fine or whatever. Like, you're taking things too seriously. Like, I'm sure she doesn't care." And I'm just like, Jesus. Like, there's always a man trying to talk another man out of like them actually doing the right thing, which is what makes it frustrating, because this is why, like, the whole accountability thing with men, like, a lot of the time it doesn't exist, because even if there is a man trying to hold other men accountable and like hold the line and like clearly call out like blatant disrespect, there's always going to be a man that's going to try to talk that man out of actually doing it and being like, "No, like, you're being too serious. It's not that big of a deal." You know what I mean? Child, it was a hot mess. It was a freaking hot mess. And like, that was that kind of kick started off me creating this channel. Honestly, that experience, that's what kick started me creating this channel, because like, in the strip club, the thing about it is that, like, okay, you're already in an environment where you're expected to be sexualized, but I feel as though in the club, like, there's security there. Like, it's more obvious to know what you can and cannot do. So it's like, if I'm dancing with a guy, it's like, don't touch me there. Like, if you touch me there, like, I'm not going to dance for you anymore. I have more power in the situation. I do. I have more power in the situation because I have more forms of protection around me. This was the first time when I'm the only woman working with a ton of men. I don't have any protection around me. I don't really have anyone 100% advocating for me. So that was the first time in my life that I actually realized, I was like, oh my God, how are there women out here working in male dominated fields? Like, I feel like my ass was out. I felt like my ass was just out for the taking for these men to kind of do whatever it is that they had wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, this guy that had trained me, I hung out with him. I hung out with him after work. Why this man kissed me? Why he kissed me? Why he end up friggin' kissing me? And I'm like, and mind you, this guy's like 300 something pounds. Okay, 300 something pounds and like 6'5". He was a sumo wrestler. Okay, this guy was a freaking sumo wrestler. All right. I'm just like, I'm 5'1" and I'm like 150 pounds. Like, there's no fight for me to even put up at this point. He was big. He was big. And I was just like, this is so annoying. This is so annoying. And then another time, like, we trained together and we were done. And I was driving behind him because we were done training, so we were leaving the subdivision. He stopped his car in front of my car, gets out of his car. So, like, I'm thinking that this man, like, has something to tell me, and then he proceeds in to try to lean in to kiss me, and I'm like, "All right, that's it. I'm quitting. I'm quitting. I'm quitting. I'm quitting. Just forget it. Like, just forget it. I don't have time for this. So yeah, I ended up quitting. I was like, I don't want to be the subject of this, especially when I'm the only woman. They ended up hiring another girl. So they ended up hiring they hired the sister. They hired the sister of one of the guys that ended up working there. And I was just like, well, I mean, now they have a new victim, and she was much younger than I was. I was like, oh, they got a new person, unless they were respectful because her brother had also worked there, which I highly doubt. Yes. I am nervous to get into dancing. Been on my mind for a minute, but if I'm gonna do it, I want to stand out. You got to invest into being a dancer, lingerie, stripper heels, stripper bag, etc. Honestly, you don't have to invest that much like you're thinking. Um, I'm telling you, it don't cost really that much money to get started, really. There's girls that I know, they just take the same heels that they wear to the club. They get a pair of bra and underwear that match, and they start dancing. And then once they start making some money, then they'll actually invest in like getting the actual pleaser dancer heels and like some cute stuff. But you really don't need anything to get started, honestly. You don't need no money to get started for real. Exactly. That's why I carry a knife and pepper spray in my bag, girl. That's why I carry a piece of steel on me, because I don't have time. I know I don't have time to deal with these people. And the thing that sucked even more too, this is what sucked about being in roofing sales. So not only did I have to be I was the only woman, number 1. Number 2, I got to knock on people's fucking doors as a woman. So I couldn't really comfortably do it alone. Like, I kind of needed to have a man there. And the thing about it is that what kind of pissed me off was that 300-pound guy, the 300-pound guy in me, it actually was working perfect for us to knock on doors with each other, because people would be afraid of him knocking on their door, whereas it would be more opportunistic for me when I was knocking on their door. So it was actually a perfect blend for us to be able to knock doors together, because I can have someone that doesn't make me look as if I'm just some little fucking girl knocking on the door. And then it was helping him not look as if he was like this large, intimidating man knocking on their door. So it kind of sucked, because it actually had made a lot of sense as to why we were working with each other. Because that's the reason why we were. It's okay, child. It is. And I said, oh no. I said, I'm never ever doing this again. I took my ass right back to ultrasound. I said, you know what? The grass isn't greener. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. I said, girl, you're just fine where you are. As a dancer, you learn everything in the club, but if you don't have a good backbone, I do research before starting. A lot of men treat the club like Tinder, and dumb girls fall for it, child. Oh, she said bear spray. It has a longer range. It comes out twice as powerful. All right, replace your pepper spray with bear spray then. Do that. But child, yeah. And see, I danced 8 years ago. I could only imagine how the men are now. I could only imagine how the men are now. I definitely could see them taking everything as an opportunity to want to go on a date. Why did you want to leave ultrasound to begin with? Honestly, I was really fed up at the place that I freaking worked at. Um, I was super frustrated with the place that I worked at, because the boss had changed like numerous things when I got hired in. So like the schedule that they said I was gonna have, they didn't give me that schedule. And they were like fucking with me. Like, I ended up taking vacation. I came back from vacation. She scheduled me 9 days in a row coming back from vacation. And it's kind of like, bitch, I know you aren't over here scheduling me as like you're trying to make me pay for going on vacation, because a lot of like older people, they try to do that. Like, they'll schedule you 9 days consecutively, and it's like, bitch, like, I'm looking at the schedule. It's nobody else on vacation. So there's no excuse why you're scheduling me 9 days in a row. Then I was told I would only work one day of the weekend. But then every other weekend, I'm working both days of the weekend. It was a lot. And I had had enough. When in reality, my beef wasn't with ultrasound. My beef was where I worked. Like, I actually do enjoy ultrasound. I actually really do like ultrasound. I learned that my largest beef was where I worked and that I do better when I work alone. I have to work alone. I don't like working with people. I'll do ultrasound all day as long as it means that I can work alone. So I'm happy where I'm at because I get to work alone. I get to have my own workflow. I get to do my own thing. Nobody bothers me. Nobody's in my business. Um, yeah, I wanted to let you know that I enjoy your content. I went back to school so I can receive my degree in sonography. Oh, congrats. Good for you. My question is, what is a good clinic hospital to work in? Um, Honestly, I would say that you should work in a hospital where you can do everything. So try to avoid working in a hospital that they have like a separate vascular lab. Like, you want to work in an environment where they're making you do OB-GYN, vascular, and then like your general, like, abdominal ultrasound, scrotal ultrasound, all that stuff. You want to work in a well-rounded place, and you kind of want to work at a place that's like fast paced. And really the reason being is because it's gonna give you more versatility, and, like, let's just say you wanna travel for work, like what I've been doing the past 3 years. You're gonna be way more marketable, and it's just gonna be easier for you to be able to work any place that you decide to, um, because you've built, like, a nice foundation, and you've got an exposure to everything. I'm starting pole dancing, and I feel very feminine doing it. Won't be professional dancing, but you can feel how powerful the feminine is. There is nothing on men that we would pay to watch. Exactly. That's why they don't make no money on OnlyFans. That's why they always upset about S workers, because they can't get paid money like S workers do, because ain't nobody paying to see that. Oh my god, yeah, go do cardiac and echo. They make more. They make a little bit more than we do. I don't really know a whole lot about medical coding. I don't. I don't know a whole lot about medical coding, but yeah, echo and cardiac is definitely where it's at. You will make a little bit more money. You will make a little bit more money doing cardiac echo. Nice. Shout out to all the girls doing pole dancing. The workshop that we did today, I haven't performed for anybody since I've danced at the club 8 years ago. Today was my first time performing in 8 years in front of people. I couldn't believe it. I feel so happy. I feel so free. I performed. Um, I don't know. I feel as though you could go higher than medical assisting. I mean, this is my opinion, right? The ultrasound program is like a year and a half. The x-ray program is like 2 years. I kind of feel as though it's a combination of things. Like, how quickly do you want to start earning a little bit more money? And then also, like, how much time do you want to invest? And I guess money too. Is your wrist still hurting? No, it was acting a little bit funny today. It's the conditioning class that I do on Saturdays in the morning. It is. It's the conditioning class that I do. Um, because it takes such a high level of strength to get through that conditioning class. It's a hard conditioning class. So my wrist doesn't hurt anymore. It's a little, just a little bit. But I also did a workshop after. It's like my biceps hurt, my forearms hurt. We don't have enough ultrasound techs. We don't have enough of them. So we're in like a shortage. So we actually need a lot more ultrasound techs. And the thing about it too is that um a lot of these programs aren't like accredited and stuff like that. So yep, it's at a pole studio. Are most of the girls in the pole dancing class girls like you? I don't know. I don't really go out of my way to like talk to the girls. There's really only one girl that I've talked to and I've hung out with outside of pole. Um And like she's cool, like she gives me girls vibe. However, I don't get to know any of them on a personal level because I don't like to be friends with everyone. So I just keep it for most of them. I just keep it strictly for Paul. They're cool though. How do you see artificial intelligence will affect medical jobs? Well, I know they're already doing it with radiology, like they're teaching AI how to like read the images to create radiology reports. So I guess like they'll have AI look at the image. The image will they'll go on ahead and they'll like read behind the AI and then they'll put out like a preliminary report. Like, yeah. You become a girl's girl when you kill the inner pick me, direct opposite. Yes. How are you doing ultrasound and pole work? My shoulders kill me after a shift. I make sure that I use my massage gun, number one, and I make sure that I use really good ergonomics. So, like, I really make sure that like I have my arm at like a 90-degree angle from my shoulder to scan. Like I'm only 5'1". I stand when I scan, I sit when I like do the paperwork. Um I try to practice really good ergonomics, but like this massage gun is literally my lifesaver. Like I do not be playing. I do a lot of stretches. I do not be playing. I get massage therapy. I do my best and try to take really good care of my body because, like, I'm trying to have longevity scanning and I'm also trying to have like longevity doing pole work and stuff like that, you know? I'm trying to make sure I stay intimidating. Oh, when I say competitive, I guess I meant selective. Like there are only a handful of techs needed in a hospital. Um, like I said before, we're in a shortage. We don't have enough techs. Like honestly, we don't have enough techs. So I highly doubt that's going to be a problem. Um, you'd be shocked. They're really not all that. In my opinion, they're really not all that selective. With the techs that I've worked with, child, I'm like, y'all couldn't tell that this person was lying on their resume. You couldn't tell that they were lying. They don't know. They done lied and said they got 16 years of experience. They don't even know how to find the pancreas. And I'm like, what the freak? So then, you know, they might keep them for 3 to 6 months and then they end up getting rid of them. Is the program 1.5 years with or without a degree? Well, you don't need a degree to get into the program. You have to do prerequisites to get into the program. And then the program itself is like 1.5 years. Depending on where you go to school, you'll either get an associate's or a bachelor's. I got a bachelor's. I asked about the girls at pole because I'm trying to build a community of women since IDGAF about me. And the thing about it is that all them girls, most of them women that I pole dance with, they all got boyfriends. As soon as they say my boyfriend, I just say okay. And I know that's probably super judgy, but let's be real. It's very rare for a woman to have a boyfriend and not be male centered. Okay. So when they say my boyfriend or my husband, I say, oh, all right, well, now if I hear them say something like, my boyfriend said that he wants me to do this, and this, and I'm not doing this shit, fuck him. All right, then. And then I'm like, huh? Okay, maybe my ear will perk up then if I hear that. But if I hear my boyfriend, no. And I've heard more, my boyfriend, my husband, I've heard that more at pole dance classes than because the girl that I've hung out with, she's not male centered. She's very spiritual, like I am. Yeah. Like there was one girl, she was in class. She was in class with me at the beginning of the week. And I liked her look, you know, and she complimented me She compliments, she's like, "I love your flow when you're dancing, yada, yada, yada." And I liked her look. Like, she looked like somebody that I would get along with. And then she was like, "Yeah, my boyfriend, we will like go out and like people watch." And I'm like, "Oh, dang it. Shit, I thought you were someone I was gonna be able to get to know, but you done said the B word." You said the B word. Yeah, it's like I don't like, please get an identity. Queen, why do women bring up their boyfriends and nobody literally asks them? Because, child, that's their whole life. Like, they don't have it. A lot of women don't have an identity outside of that. Like, there are some women who I poll with, and like, it'll be a shock to me that they have a husband, or like, I've heard from other women that that person is married, because like, they just don't ever talk about it. Like, they don't ever talk about, like, oh, my husband. Like, they never bring it up. Like, I just learned and realized that, like, one of my pole dance instructors, like, she's actually married, and I actually kind of assumed that she wouldn't be. But I also wonder, like, what race her husband is. I do. I kind of wonder what race her husband is, because she's black, but like, she's not black. And like, I also think that she's like Nigerian, but she's like alt black. She's like an alternative black girl. Like, she likes going to like moshing, and like, she likes listening to like rock and stuff like that. So I'm like, and she's a dark skinned black girl. So like, it would make a lot of sense if like her husband was like white or something. Like, honestly. Like, I don't know. I see her being with like a white man that like she pegs. Honestly. Yeah, that's cool. Polyamorous in a non-male centered way. Yeah. And like, that's the thing. Like, I end up like meeting like a few girls that's like I could kind of level with. They kind of have the same frame of thinking. Even femme gay women still male centered. Chow. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm like, ugh. That's why I'm like, I'm not even dipping my toe in the water with women. I'm not. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Everyone's messed up. They're men and women, they're all messed up. I just think the men are more messed up. I do. I just think the men are a little bit more messed up, but the women, I don't want to deal with them either. Shit. Mm-mm. She said they don't have hobbies. Oh, I don't see myself coming back out to the West for a long time. I'm always hanging out alone, dinner alone, brunch alone, chow. I'm telling you. And guess what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. I have to post a video, but there's a video that I'm gonna post talking about how, like, pretty much like when a woman's in a relationship, it actually makes her more dumb. I guess it's like been scientifically proven that like kind of essentially male centered women tend to be more dumb. I guess their brain, like, I don't know, it's like a pheromone or a gene or something. I don't freaking know. There's a guy that talked about it. I need to look it up to even see if it's true, although I believe it. Something is activated in a woman when she's in the presence of a man. It kind of makes her more stupid. That way she can like stay mated and like paired up with that man. And I kind of believe it, because nothing sounds more sinister to you that sounds more normal to a woman that's in a relationship. Like, a woman will sit here and be telling you all about like her relationship, and she'll be like, "Yeah, he put his hands on me, and like his mother cussed me out, and his mother like helped him jump me, but like I love him. Like, I mean, that's I love him. I can't wait to get married to him." And you're just like, "Huh? Like, what?" Like, what are we I, I know I'm not supposed to be supporting this. What are we talking about right now? So I'm like, like, mm-mm. I wish we could wake her up. She would be a force for women, so smart and brave. Child, I don't know. I feel like she's a psyop. She's a psyop at this point. it's, a, it's a psychological operation. Ooh, she literally played gay with her female friends in order to have a place to stay, then would be at the bars all night talking to different men. See? Mm-mm. She's a hobosexual too. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like a nightmare. Jesus. Ay, ay, ay. This is why I just stick alone. This is why I just stay alone. I don't be dealing with nobody. Hell, even the women will be intimidated of me. So I just said, I give up. I give up. No, no friends or man for me, for real. It'd just be little old me. I really enjoyed your video about living with a man and why you wouldn't live with a man. Cause chow, I mean, it's peaceful here. It's peaceful here. Like I love burning my Palo Santo to a nub. If a man lived here, he'd be like, I can't breathe. You're you're it's smoky. It's smoky in here. It's like I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. It's almost 8 o'clock here. I ain't making no dinner for real. I ain't making no dinner for real. Like for real, I'm not making me no real dinner today. I'm probably gonna have me a smoothie. I'm gonna have me a smoothie for dinner tonight. That's probably about it. I ain't got time to be listening to no man. What are we eating for dinner tonight? What are you making for dinner tonight? I'm not cooking any of that shit. Like no. I got a whole steak in the refrigerator. I'm probably not cooking that shit. As a matter of fact, not probably. I'm not cooking that shit. I remember the guy I was dealing with said that it was too smoky when I was burning my steak. Yeah, they're always talking about how something is too smoky. If you're painting your nails or something, if you're using toenail polish remover, those fumes, I can't. Like, exactly. They'll vape all day. They'll smoke a ton of fucking weed. And then, not to mention, they will do these because, they're anti college. So, my Palo Santo or your sage is too much. But these men will work in a fucking factory plant with fucking asbestos. I did do a manifestation for the Lionsgate portal yesterday. I sure did. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I got me some rest, chow. I did. I finally got me some rest yesterday. Because Lord knows I needed it. I'm like, the idea of being alone forever is scary sometimes. I love it and can't have a man here ever, but being aware is lonely sometimes, as enjoyable as it is. I can't say that I can't really say anymore that I feel lonely because I take so much solace in understanding the things that I know. And it's really hard for me to connect with anyone that doesn't take solace, that knows the same things that I do. So I don't really, it don't really bother me. I don't really get a sense of loneliness anymore. Um, because like I'm just not into the things that most people are into anyway. Like, I just been watching Ancient Aliens all weekend. I have. I've been watching, not even all weekend, all week. I've been watching Ancient Aliens on Netflix. He hated the smell. I'm like, how do you guys hate freaking toenail polish, but you all don't mind working with all these dang asbestos and all this crazy stuff. One time I told him, man, he brought a demon inside my house. I started dating. He ran out. It was so fucking funny. I told him his grandma came to visit. That's hilarious. That is too funny. Yep, all the sage you can get. I remember when I had my place in Chicago. I mean, did I really invite a whole lot of men there? No, but in my brain now, I feel like I invited too many there. But I remember I would sage it every time. I'm like, I gotta get the male energy out of my place. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I feel like I look so tired. Yep, and my dad worked in a tire plant for 30 years. Like what the fuck? Like you know that place smells like burnt freaking rubber. Like the smell of rubber is terrible. It's probably the smell of probably warm hot rubber and then you draw the line at fucking nail polish. Like come on. Like come the freak on. Like they kill me. They kill me. Don't want to smell nail polish, but got no problem smelling the piss that they're sitting in because they can't wipe their own ass. Like, be so for real. I was at the movies last night. These two big ass dudes who were shoveling popcorn in their mouths for like an hour. There was a gay character in the movie, and one of them goes, "He's gay." Men need to be studied. I'm telling you, like, their behaviors need to be studied. Something's wrong with them. All right, something's wrong with them. They're they're not well. Mentally, they're not well. Mentally is something going on up there. Has to be. Has to be something going on up there because what? Ugh, they drive me crazy. The last time I went to the movies, there was an interracial couple. It was the typical interracial couple that you see. It was a black man and a white woman. And like I came to the movies looking cute. You know what I mean? I dressed up to go to the movies. And he kept looking over at me and I'm like, you're with someone else. I'm not paying attention to you. I'm like, give me the wine, give me the beignets, give me the flatbread. Even though that flatbread was fucking nasty, I was not expecting for them to bring me out a flatbread and everything on it was going to be cold. Like, wasn't expecting that. I'm like, why didn't y'all warm the flatbread up? Like, the bread was warm. The bread was warm, but everything on it was cold. It was like a vegetable one. I was like, damn, like, come on. Definitely dealt with men, twice divorced, been there, done that. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. When it come to men, third time ain't a charm. Third time is just more of a confirmation. I would say third time is a curse at that point. I'm gonna find a Gap Band song to dance to whenever we do our pole dancing showcase. Because we do showcases once a month. I need to think of a song to dance to. And I like Gap Band a lot. I was listen, I was hanging out with a woman and like she thought we were in love, and that lady tried to ruin my life. That lady tried to ruin my life. I said, you know what, forget it. And the little young one that I have a crush on, yeah, I don't really talk to her anymore. I don't. I texted her because I was bored a couple days ago, and I told her that I wanted to hang out, and I told her that I would hit her up tomorrow. I ain't hitting that girl up. I was just talking. I was just talking. And she probably knows I was just talking. Can you be religious and take part of the spiritual channel at the same time? Reclaim my religion from misogynists. Love God. They ruin religion for us. I'm interested in the spirit knowledge. Um okay, this is what I think. I think that yes, you can do both at the same time, but I kind of feel as though the more you take on spirituality, the more naturally I feel like it's going to kind of get you further away from religion. But it's only because you're going to start looking deeper into the spiritual meaning of what the religious where it's coming from. I think you'll realize that all things religion kind of come from a spiritual basis that's kind of been manipulated. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't have a crush on her anymore. I don't have a crush on her anymore. I just get bored. I just was bored. I'm not hanging out with that girl. I was bored. I just was like, "Hey, how are you?" Like I just when I'm just bored, I'll just hit somebody up randomly. Hanging out with that girl. Every man I've dated or married since my teenage years has used me for housing. I'm ready to turn the tables. Girl, it's time to get a sugar daddy. It's time to start using them for money, girl. It is. It's time to start. But no, I don't have a crush on that girl. Y'all don't have to worry about that. My crush lasted all of like a week. Yeah, she said I'm turning bougie and I love it. Yes, I love a bougie woman. I do. I mean, I love all women, but I'm bougie. I'm bougie. She learned her lesson. She not gonna let no men move in, y'all. She about to start using men. I feel like even if you take the time to get to know somebody, they could still change. And they could still be acting. So I kind of feel like taking the time to know somebody, child, just never trust them. Take the time to get to know somebody and never trust them. Yeah, you have to. You got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to. A man could be Bruce Jenner. A man could be Bruce Jenner one day and Caitlyn Jenner the next. Sorry, I don't know why that tickled me so much, but that's how they could change on you. They gonna go from Bruce to Caitlyn Jenner before you know it. I was thinking about that song too, about dancing to that song. No, they're not strawberries. I need to get them done. I didn't tell her what to do. She did like a multicolor, so it's like orange, like a sherbet, I guess, is how I would describe it. And women will be like, "I never seen it coming." And it's like, "Girl, did you?" She'll be like, "The red flags, there were no red flags. He just woke up that way." And it's like, "Girl, did you forget the dozen times you caught that your clothes was coming up missing, your shoes were coming up missing. You said that your shoes was getting stretched out. Girl, those were the signs. You said your dresses were coming up missing, your lingerie was coming up missing. He locked himself in your bedroom and it took him a while to open up the door. The signs were there." Talking about some he just changed all of a sudden. Girl, no he didn't. Okay? Yeah, he did not. He just was hiding it from you, and he wasn't hiding it very well. Hi, queen, to get paid well. Do you need 2 years or 4-year degree for ultrasound? Okay, so ultrasound, it's a program. So you have to take classes to get into said program. Okay. So it's not like an actual it's not an actual year of degree. It's you take the classes to get into the program, and then you do the program, and then you graduate with whatever. It's based off the college. The college that I went to, you get a bachelor's. I think most colleges award you an associate's. If it were me, I would go to a college that gives you a bachelor's degree for ultrasound, because you could use that for other things. Maybe if you want to go to medical school, or maybe you want to become a lawyer, you have to have a bachelor's degree to be able to apply for any other, like, you know, school like that. You know what I mean? Like medical or law. So I say it's good to get a bachelor's degree, go into a program that you have to do a bachelor's degree. But all in all, it's going to take you like 3.5 to 4 years when you factor in your prerequisites plus the program. It'll take you 3 to 4 years to get your degree. Some programs will want you to do x-ray first, or they'll at least recommend that you do x-ray first, because usually the ultrasound programs are a little bit accelerated, so they don't really hold your hand when it comes to like the hospital stuff. So, transferring a patient, um, all kind of like the fundamental things that you would kind of know for your clinical. They're not going to go over that with you. So that's why a lot of programs suggest you do x-ray first, because an x-ray program is usually a 2-year program, because I did both. I did x-ray, then I went back for ultrasound. I did both. I got 2 degrees. She wanted Bruce to cut his hair for years and he never would. See, that's a sign. That's a sign. Why you want your hair to be long, sir? Belle, nice. You're back. Oh my God. And Lola. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, ladies. If their homeboy says jump, these men will say hi, how high. If the girl they're sleeping with and not providing for says jump, he will say FUB, don't nag me, I'm cheating. I'm telling you. There was a video I seen of a guy talking about how he's seen a video of a guy he invited 4 of his boys over for them to eat his girl's cooking. And even the guy was confused. He was like, why would you fucking do that? He's like, why? Because one of my exes did this one time, and I cussed him clean the fuck out. I cussed him clean the fuck out. He was like, why would you invite your 4 homeboys over for them to have your woman's cooking? So that way they can be happy that she knows how to cook, and then fuck you out of being with her. Even he was like, these men are dumb. These men want to brag so much to their homeboys. They so badly want to get male validation that they don't even realize how much you're fucking themselves over. Because one of my exes did that. He's like, let's do a seafood boil. And I was like, I've never done one in my life. I've never done that shit ever before. I was like, I will try. I was like, it would be nice because it would go to them a lot. We would do seafood boils a lot. I'm sure my cholesterol was through the roof at that time, because we was constantly we was constantly eating those damn seafood boils. So anyway, um, went on ahead. We bought everything, and I started cooking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so and so is about to come over," and I said, "Excuse me." I was pissed. I was so fucking pissed. I cooked and I went into the bedroom and I let them eat. I didn't even eat out with them. I didn't even eat with them. I fucking ate in the kitchen and I went back to the bedroom. I didn't talk to any of them. And then once all them people left, I cussed him the fuck out. I cussed him the fuck out. I know Charlemagne be getting his eyebrows done. He got a nose job too. Charlemagne, he got a nose job. His nose used to be a lot bigger than that. I did not know the public offender used to do that kind of content. He's all for women now. Yeah. I think honestly, I do. I really do think Charlemagne the God got a nose job. I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, they even have like before and afters. I mean, I feel as though it's like really subtle. Yeah, he definitely got a nose job. Yeah, he definitely got a nose job. He did. I know I'm not crazy. Because if you look at Charlemagne from like a long, long time ago, I'm like, his nose was a lot bigger. A lot bigger. His nose is smaller now. Like he looks a lot better. He done got his skin together. He done got a little bit of money. I think he just got the bridge like pinched a little bit more up top. Like I don't think he did anything crazy with it. Yes. What do you think about the T app? I got on there just to see if my exes were on there. None of them were on there. Um However, the men that are on the T app, I'm disappointed that women even gave these men an opportunity so that way they could be on the T app. Also, we got to go over the spiritual channel, y'all, because I have a live stream scheduled over on the spiritual channel. Um, Hold on, because I got to switch my account to Queen the Mystic. If you're not following me, over there on the hold on, what's going on? If you're not following me already over there on Queen the Mystic, please do. Because I want to talk about like the spiritual attacks of, a narcissist and, things like that. So, yeah, let's go over there. Let's go over there because I want to talk more about it. But let me look at what you all typed. Oh my God, a guy just lied saying he's gay after I told him about VIP. So wait, you were like trying to sell a room? You were trying to like do a VIP or something, and then instead of the guy saying, "Hey, I don't have the money," or like maybe next time, he said he's gay. Ciao. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go over on Queen the Mystic, the spiritual channel. I'm literally gonna go there right now. Okay, so I will see you all over there, and we're gonna talk about the spiritual warfare and the attacks from the narcissist. So if you want more of that, please come over to the spiritual channel. Queen the Mystic, okay, that's my spiritual channel name, Queen the Mystic. You all can find me over there. Hold on, let me link it. One second. There you go. Okay, so I linked it in the bio. So I'm gonna go over to she said on playback speed, 2 times sounds like dolphin talking. Ah, that's funny. Okay, I will see you all over on the spiritual channel. Bye.